Good morning. Welcome to this 5 minutes or 10 minutes discussion about September 2025 CA Inter Advanced Accounting question paper. Yes, as expected in part 1, if you look at 30 marks, out of that 80% of the question appeared from accounting standards. So which accounting standard? It is generally covering different accounting standards that was there in part 1. Then of course questions were based on amalgamation, investments, and based on cash flow and other segments also. That is set 1. Then the set 2, that is part 2, that is for 70 marks, wherein which a student has to answer 5 questions out of 6 questions. 5 questions out of what? 6 questions. We will see what we learned and at Bharadwaj and what is asked in the examination question like that. Always I used to tell the students that you concentrate on set 1 material, you will get around 60 marks questions from this. Financial statement of companies, buyback of shares, internal reconstruction, amalgamation, AS21, that is consolidation, branch accounts, and which one? Cash flow statement. In the last exam, if you see, except buyback of shares, all the other areas were tested in the exam. Let me come for this analysis of the question paper. Maybe you have gone through the question paper. So what is learned and what is asked in September question paper, let us see. Okay, these are the topics that was tested, as I told you. Okay, in this only buyback of shares were not tested. Probably an MCQ was tested, otherwise it was not tested. If you look at the lengthy answer question, final accounts of companies, it was tested for 14 marks plus 4 marks. That is question number 2 and question number 6C. Let us look at the question also. If you look at the question number 2, okay, there is a balance sheet given. There are some adjustments given. Okay, then they are giving some notes to accounts. Just prepare a balance sheet. One of the simplest questions. Just prepare the balance sheet. Sir, how about in Bharadwaj? Have you done this? Yes. This is similar to this particular question. Question number 1, where we have done balance sheet with notes to accounts. You can find a similar question was tested over here. Okay, balance include 24,000 is not a scheduled bank. You can find even the words. Okay, bank balance include 2,000 with a trust bank limited, which is not a scheduled bank like that. It is nothing but ditto of question number 1, or you can say question number 4. Question number 4, we have done 2 questions based on that. Okay, so even question number 5 also, it was like, for example, the bank balance which is including, which is not a scheduled bank like that, you can find. So whatever is discussed in Bharadwaj material, a similar question or in the classroom, a similar question was asked. It is for about 14 marks. It was for about 14 marks. And in 6C, properties and characteristics of good financial statements are tested. It is for about 18 marks. Just a cakewalk. Then, as we discussed in the class also, in the internal reconstruction question was tested in the exam. That was for 4 marks. That was only for 4 marks. Just passing a journal entry. Compared to the problems that we have discussed in the class, the question that was discussed in the exam was very, very easy. You would just pass journal entries for the internal reconstruction. Like debenture voter converted, assets changed, liabilities changed, then write off the bad debts. We can find a similar question we have solved in the class also. Maybe I'll show the material. Can find there were capital commitments totaling 25,000. These contracts are 2,50,000. The contracts are cancelled. You can find 4,50,000 contracts are cancelled. Write off P&L account debit balances, general reserve to be used, etc. And they just ask you to pass which one? Journal entry. But expectation was somewhere around 10 marks in internal reconstruction, but only 4 marks question is asked. Of course, you cannot predict ICAI questions accurately. But yes, expected question was tested. Amalgamation, yes, they tested a question for 14 marks. That is question number 4. Question number 4 you can go through. A question was tested based on which one? Amalgamation. Sir, did we do in Bharadwaj based on this question? Preparing the balance sheet after amalgamation, etc. And yes, we have done. You can go through. There are many questions solved in the same model. Okay. So like you prepare the purchase consideration, value the goodwill and calculate which one? purchase consideration, thereafter prepare the new balance sheet. You can find many questions we have done in the same model based on that. As expected, the Hari Vai limited questions, many questions we have solved. Okay, so it's like not one question, many questions we have done based on this amalgamation. As expected, it was tested for about 14 marks. Then holding and subsidiary company accounts, again as expected, it was tested for about 14 marks. And if you look at it, was question number 5. It was question number 5. Okay. If you look at adjustments covering, okay, there is bonus shares were tested. Bonus shares were tested. Then there is the stock reserve adjustments were tested. Only 2 adjustments are tested. Only easy question. There is no, revaluation of assets and liability, no dividend adjustments. Okay. I would say it's a clean question. It's like a BCom question paper that was tested for about, 14 marks. It's a cakewalk question for the students. Sir, how about in Bharadwaj material? We have done question number 1, 2. It is similar to this particular question number 4 with bonus issue. There is a bonus issue. Okay, that is what is recorded. So they have not tested any advanced concepts. They have not tested any advanced concepts. Just a bonus issue and stock reserve was tested. Dividend was not tested. Revaluation adjustments were not tested. A cakewalk question was tested. That is question number 5. If you look at branch accounts, they have asked with 2 dependent branches. They have asked with which one? Dependent branches. Like there are 2 branches. Okay, where you can find each branch. Okay, sorry, it is an independent branch. Okay, all expenses are paid by head office. It's partially independent branch, and each branch has own sales ledger. Okay, all cash collections are remitted to head office by branches like that. It is given. We have done similar question in the class like Kanpur Lucknow branch. Goods are sent at invoice price. Okay, you prepare which one? Branch accounts that will appear in the books of which one? Head office under which method? Debtors method. Let us see. In Bharadwaj material. A question similar to this question. 2 branches, Cochin and Bangalore. Actually, we have done with 2 invoice prices. One is 20% above cost, another one is what? 25% above cost, like that. So we maintain in 2 columnar format the branch accounts to ascertain what? The profit or loss. Okay. So this 2 branch model they tested under which method? Debtors method. Under the cakewalk question. Very simple question that was tested. That was tested in the exam. That is from which one? Branch accounts. Cash flow question was tested for 7 marks. Okay, we can look at the question. Cash flow question was a direct question that was tested in the exam. They have given 2 balance sheets. They have just given adjustment for depreciation, income tax paid, interim dividend paid. Prepare cash flow statement. Let us go through what is done in Bharadwaj material. As questions similar to this question. Balance sheet with 2 years information is available, data is available. Depreciation and assets were given. Provision for depreciation and which one? Interim dividend paid is given. So just discussed in the class, only the numbers are different, right? Depreciation is given, income tax paid is given, interim dividend paid is given. 3 adjustments were there. And we have done a same or similar question in the class. It was actually a basic problem. We have done around 50-60 problems. In that, the 8th question was tested in the exam. So that was a cakewalk. So if you would have followed Bharadwaj classes or if you would have followed ICAI material, 63 marks would have come easily. Out of 63 marks, you can definitely score around 55, something like that. That is about questions. Of course, accounting standards were based on impairment loss, deferred tax, inventory, revenue recognition, and which one? Prior credit item. That was tested for about 21 marks, like question 1, number 1 and 6, like that. So if a student has followed ICAI material and of course Bharadwaj material, if you were a Bharadwaj student, like the 63 marks, you will not lose even a single mark. Everything came as predicted or as seen in the past average from this set 1 material. Set 1 to set 2 was fully based on accounting standards. From that around 21 marks questions were tested in the exam. So of course, for if there is anything like material requirement or anything, you can just contact Bharadwaj Institute. We'll share the material for practice. Of course, recorded classes you can take it where, it is based on the number one past exam questions. It is based on the ICA material we cover, so that the preparation is not wasted at all. If you look at buyback of shares is the only concept that is discussed in the class that was not tested in the exam. All the other concepts and questions which were discussed in the class were as expected, tested in the exam. So if you look at, so what will be the January 2026 examination? What will be the January 2026 examination? You can find the questions spreading in all the chapters. Maybe buyback of shares also can be tested either in MCQ or in the other one. You don't miss out on the chapters. Of course, accounting standards, it's very difficult to predict which accounting standard will be asked. For example, people predicted accounting for leases will be tested, EPS will be tested. That was not tested. So they tested only impairment loss, deferred tax, inventory, revenue recognition, priority item and all. Okay, so with respect to accounting standard, wholesome knowledge is required. How to get the knowledge? Number one, your knowledge on the conceptual understanding of accounting standard, then practicing all your ICA questions, model test paper, practical test paper will give an idea with respect to accounting standards, because you study apart from this amalgamation, accounting standard 14, accounting standard 21, then branch accounts, cash flow statement, accounting standard 3. So if you look at, apart from this, you learn about minimum 20 accounting standards. From that, 4 or 5 accounting standards are tested. So it's not possible to predict exactly what will happen, but this is the most important area for examination point of view. Complete this, then depending upon your time availability, make analysis of ABC of accounting standards and do it. For any support that is required, you can just contact Bharadwaj Institute. We'll definitely help you out, kind of a thing. Happy learning CA. Happy to get the success in first attempt. Hope the September exam students will clear with minimum 80% mark in advanced accounts. Thank you all for watching.